Okay, everybody, welcome. Let's take a look at wheat futures. So this is November 8th, 2021. The symbol is /ZW. Okay, we're looking at the December 2021 contracts. We can see the market's still, well, no, actually, I'm sorry. For wheat, it closed already for the day. Okay, which I believe it closes at 130 or 120 on the big contracts. I think the E-mini contracts, if you want to trade those, that would be XW. Okay, that would be a /XW. I trade those a lot when I do trade wheat. Yeah, so the market doesn't close on wheat for probably over an hour now. Okay, you can see that wheat closed today at 767.75. We're looking at the daily chart here, guys, daily. Let's see what's going on here. Well, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Today was a little doji. So some indecision starting to show up there as the Big Daddy's getting towards the bottom of its range. There's still some room to go on the SMI. We haven't gotten that little bounce. Okay, the MACD on the daily has just been kind of flatlining above the zero. Okay, the amplitude percent has cooled off just a little bit. Okay, it was as high as 7. My goodness, that's a blistering percentage. 767 there, guys, back on November 2nd on this date. So that amplitude percent, has really cooled off. Okay, well, look at that, guys. 5 consecutive days down. Wow. So we see this time and time again, right? It looks like in wheat comes down, even if it pierces it, basically finds support at the 50-day. Okay, doesn't get too far removed, finds support, comes up, finds support again, comes up. So wheat just looks strong, okay, at least on the daily. And it really got removed, like I said, over 7% away from the 50-day here. And this is still rising. It's kind of doing one of these deals. Who knows what we're going to get. It may cool off. It may not come all the way down, touch a 50 because we're kind of getting towards the bottom here. But we do have some divergence warnings here. Those are 12-day divergence, those yellow dots. It may be hard to see on the video here, but there's 2 dots. Okay, let's see what days they're on. They were Friday and today. So there's 2 dots there showing up yellow. Those are 12-day divergence. Okay, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, divergence means this indicator is going down while on the average the price was going up. Okay, it isn't anymore, but it's just looking backwards, right? It's looking backwards 12 days. So even from that dot right there and today's dot, it's looking back 12 days. Okay? Looking way back over here. Somewhere over in this area, it's picking up a divergence, okay? A white dot like this one right here, which that was, right on the peak, the 807 high up here. There was a peak on that day, obviously, and there was a divergence signal. That's a 3 or 4 day divergence, okay? So you got to be aware of that. So there are some signals here saying there's potential for divergence going on. So just be aware of that. But I think it's kind of already showed up, even though we're seeing an increase in longer term, right? 3-day, 4-day divergence right there, and 12-day divergence shown up there. So usually if we see white and yellow, we might even see a red kind of as a, from cool to hot going this way, right? If that happens, then maybe we will see more price decline. Okay? But with a doji like that, we'll see whether or not wheat is beginning to cool off, and will it stay away from the 50, maybe like bottom out in here and then go back up, or is it going to come all the way down to the 50? Okay? So it keeps gravitating towards the 50 and finds support on the daily. Okay, let's look at the monthly. I like going to the monthly right after the daily. Let's see what the big picture here is. Oh my goodness, look at this monster. Look at this distance, guys. Just absolutely huge. We see this time and time again for where commodities are, futures and commodities, because wheat is obviously a commodity, right? We can put our hands on wheat, right, guys? We put our hands on it. We make bread out of it. We make all kinds of things out of it. We eat it, okay? So that's why there are differences sometimes between futures and commodities. Commodities is something we can put our hands on. S&P 500 index, guys, is not something you can really put your hands on. So it's strictly a future. Okay, even though it might be made up of some stock companies that have tangible products, but basically we view futures as intangible more or less, and commodities as tangible, okay? So anyway, commodities, okay, are showing this, a lot of them are showing this huge amplitude percent. This large amplitude or large wave that's far away from the 50, in this case 50 month. Okay? A little bit of peakiness starting to show up here on both the Big Daddy and on the SMI, but nothing that's super high. But wheat doesn't get really peaky. There's a 391 back there in 2021. Remember, we're looking at the monthly, right, guys and gals? Looking at the monthly here, so just stay with me on this. The highest we have ever seen it, or in a long time, for many, many years, was way back in July of 2012, where it got to 369. So what was this one again? Yeah, 391, which was right in the beginning of 2021. Makes sense. The Piranha Fest. Piranha feeding frenzy. Okay. So there's a lot of risk here, right? There's a lot of risk for a lot of these commodities to make their way back towards the 50-month moving average. Long term, you got to keep that in mind. Okay. See back here a few months ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 months ago, whatever it was, right around in there, we saw a lot of 3-month divergence signals showing up. Okay. So that could play out, especially if you see a yellow or maybe a red shows up in there. If that happens, watch out. Okay. You can, guys, look back here on the Big Daddy. Okay, it almost never shows these divergences in the monthly. The only time it showed up before that was back in 2012. Okay, back like 3/4 of the way through 2012. So whenever you see white dots on the Big Daddy on the monthly chart for, that's a big deal. It's something you want to pay attention to. And obviously, it did show up there in this huge monster candlestick with a range of 128. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine taking this short side trade or even this long side trade? That'll make or break traders. If you're on the wrong side of that trade, it'll break an account. If you're on the right side, bankroll, baby. All right, so I think there's risk, huge risk in wheat. Is it going to go to 1,000? Kind of reminds me of oats. Is it going to go to 1,000? Okay, or is it beginning to taper off? Yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on that. Okay, let's look at the weekly. Okay, almost getting ready to close up this video, guys. Even here on the weekly, yeah, pretty big gap. Look, every time the wheat gets away from the 50, every time it gets away from it, okay, it gets away, starts getting away. That was a long one right there. That was 16.5%. Where are we at right now? Right now we're at 10.5. So it's conceivable that it could go higher. But look at that yellow right there, guys. Look at that yellow dot. Big Daddy telling us last week, keep your guard up. Back here, same thing. Especially if you see, look at the SMI. SMI is a little more reactive. Okay, the signals will show up a little bit more often. Okay. But when the Big Daddy gives you a signal, guys, on that yellow dot like that, that's a 12-week divergence. You want to pay attention. So my instincts tell me, looking at what I'm seeing here, with this divergence signal coming up, the fact that the Big Daddy's pulled back pretty good already, okay, SMI is just starting to show it, okay, the MACD's like just flatline, like it's dead, okay. I think this thing's due for some kind of pullback, okay, on the weekly. I think that's coming. I don't know if it's going to be one of these. It's going to be a bigger one like this. With the amplitude percent being at 10 rather than that 17 like that, okay, maybe we get a moderate pullback. Okay, so keep your heads up on the wheat. I think there's a trading opportunity there. Okay, I'm not going to call exact times and hours and all that stuff. Okay, but it looks like there's a trade coming up. Maybe already is happening. Oh my goodness, look at this on the hourly, guys. We just switched to the hourly. Okay, boom. Was finding support, boom. Finding support, boom. Seeing a very common trend across a lot of commodities. Broke through, come up, found resistance, came up, found resistance, down, 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 down. This time, look at guys. Let me show you something here. There's something, guys and gals, because I'm talking to you gals too. I know there's some women traders out there. I know there's some really good women traders. So welcome to the channel. Okay. Look at this. Look at the difference here. I want to show you something about how this works. Okay. Looking at the hourly chart, comes up, busts through a little bit just on that wick, but finds resistance and goes down. comes over. This time it doesn't even get to the 50 hour. See that little gap? Goes all the way down. What happens the next time? An even bigger gap occurs. See how that works? Came down and almost the same gap. You can see how weak the waves go from being huge waves. They get a little smaller. They get smaller. See how the zigzags are getting smaller and smaller and smaller? Okay? So you want to pay attention to wave dynamics. Okay? And amplitude dynamics, right? Amplitude is going to expose the wave. Okay? And a little tiny one right there. Okay? So this looks kind of weak to me. On the hourly, things look weak. From all the way back here, look at this, guys and gals. Look at this right here. Okay? And when it did get a rebound, and it got some strength into it, what happened? It only got to here. Right? It didn't go above the top line. Okay? It's same thing over here. We're talking from last Tuesday. Boom, 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 boom. Down. Came down. It finally gathered some strength, but it didn't get super strong. It isn't like back over here. Okay? If you look at this over here, the SMI was at 71, and at the peak right there is at 48. So visually, you can't always pick it up. Sometimes you want to look at the numbers. That's a big difference. Okay? 71 to 48. Okay? That's more than 20. Whatever that is, 23 value difference in that indicator, okay? So you really want to pay attention. Sometimes you want to look exactly at the numbers that can really help you. Okay, on the hourly chart, saw a little bit. On the SMI, there's a little bit of a divergence showing up. Okay? Again, divergence simply means, guys, indicators are going down while prices are going up. Okay? Even on the SMI, indicators going down. Okay? The amplitude percent is looking cool as a cat. One cool cat, just trading sideways. Okay? Even the RSI, which you may not be able to see in the video, but there's a little bit of blue in there. Right there and there. That's very cooling off. But whereas back here was red, and the amplitude percent had some yellow in it. Okay? So, to me, guys, looks like wheat kind of has a weakness to it. Okay? Let me finish up this video by going back to the daily one more time. Yep. Definitely heading towards the 50. We'll see if it gets down there. Just be mindful. A little bit of a bottoming going on. We want to see how far does it come down. Does it come down and bounce, or does it come down and break through? So far, every time it's broken through, it's basically found resistance and then gone back up. Okay? So we're going to watch that carefully. If it gets below there and really takes off, then we know that we got a different dynamic going on in the marketplace and a weakening. Listen, there's things change in the autumn. So I don't know if we're going to get the big weakness and the big breakdown in the commodities, guys, but I'm seeing some weakness overall in commodities. But that's it for right now, guys. Listen, guys, I have had a lot of people ask me about subscription service. They want to subscribe. They like my videos. They're liking my technical analysis. Well, I just going to announce brand new right today. There's a premium membership available. Right below this video, guys, you'll see a join button. Click on the join button. If you like what you see, you can join. It's $5.95 a month, guys. That's super cheap. I'm going to put out 1 or 2 videos a month about trades that I think could be good opportunities. They're going to be educational, paper trade only videos, guys, okay? Make your own financial decisions. I don't give financial advice, okay? What you do with that paper trade is up to you, okay? But the videos are going to come out, like I said, 1 or 2 a month, okay? I mean, if you can't make $5.95 in a trade, guys, well, yeah, all I can say is go back to just, learning until you can get your craft better, okay? That's a really good opportunity, so take advantage of it. If the membership thing takes off, guys, I'm going to have to raise the price because obviously there's going to be a lot more support involved, right? So take advantage of it while you can. Listen, guys and gals, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. I will appreciate it. Don't forget to click that little bell to be notified of all the videos I put them out. Talk to you all real soon again next time.